The next topic in XML is XML namespaces. Namespaces is used to avoid the name conflicts in XML. We will see how it avoids. So XML tag set, we have already seen that XML tag set is a custom tag set. We have a set of element types and attribute names that forms together a tag set. So each user is free to define his own tag set. So sometimes it is possible that an application will be accessing XMLs and try to combine them together from two different sources. So sometimes one may use the tag which is used in some other application, and that leads to conflicts. One tag X may be used in one meaning in one application, one XML file, and in another meaning in another XML file. So if we combine them together, the same tag name will be repeated and that lead to conflicts. So if an XML is a single entity which is having some meaning of its own, there is no issue, will not be any conflicts. But if we process it, if we are trying to feed it to some applications where it is getting combined with some other XMLs, there is a chance of conflict. So we use the namespaces in XML where its primary purpose is to distinguish the duplicate elements and to avoid conflicts. So here is an example where you can understand it better. There are two different files. These two XMLs are defined by two different developers. One for the first file is a table for maintaining fruit information, and this XML uses same tag sets as in HTML. There is no problem in using that because it is having its own meaning here. So this developer used table tag or normal tr for defining rows, then td for defining the data, and it contains certain fruit information. On the other hand, there is another table which contains information regarding tables. So African coffee table. So that also has a tag name as table. So here also a table tag is there, here also another table tag is there, but both of these means two different things. This is a fruit table and this actually refers to set of type of tables, then width and length are mentioned over here. Suppose that these two XML files are being combined, then this will be a confusion. What is the meaning of this particular table tag? So XML namespaces provide a method to avoid element name conflicts. This namespaces are written using a prefix colon, specifying a prefix name to an element or attribute names to avoid the confusion. This is a syntax: prefix name colon element name, prefix name colon element name. So here is an example. I am using an H prefix for the first table, fruits table. So I have to write all the contents of the fruit table, all the tags with the prefix H colon. So H colon table, H colon tr, likewise I write. And for the second table, that is the coffee table names, then there I am using another prefix F. So of course on writing like this, the name of the tag itself will be different. So H colon table is different from F colon table. So there will not be any conflict because both of them having different names. So this is a random way to solve the name conflict issue. But there are chances that if we use prefix like this, that also may get duplicated. Sometimes there are chances that both of them use the same prefix. So it is always good that the prefix is defined by an XML NS attribute in the start tag of an element. So XML NS means XML namespace, NS for namespace. So we can use a qualified namespace to avoid such confusions. That is written in the start tag of the element itself. So this is the declaration syntax. The attribute XML NS colon prefix. So prefix is qualified in a given URI. URI means Uniform Resource Indicator. It can be URN or URL. You can also give URN or URL. So XMLNS colon prefix equal to URI. That means the prefix which we are using is qualified within a given URI. This is to maintain the uniqueness of the prefix. This is generally this attribute. This is an attribute which is declared in the XML root element. So this means that the element is qualified in the given namespace. So here is the syntax: root element XMLNS attribute colon prefix equal to URI. The prefix is nothing but a short name for the namespace. It is optional too. We can skip that too. That means if we skip it, all the elements will be belonging to a default namespace specified by this URI. If we specify the prefix, we have to attach the prefix to tag names. Otherwise, you can skip it. So here is an example. Volvo cars is my root element. XMLNS attribute colon Volvo. That means this is the prefix. So this prefix is qualified in this URI www.volvocars.com. And all the tags hereafter in this XML must use a prefix called Volvo. Volvo colon C70. If we skip this, we can skip this too. This colon Volvo can be skipped. That means all the tags which is written in this XML is qualified within this default namespace. XMLNS means default namespace. So here you can skip this. If you are using like this, you can just write C70. C70 will be qualified in this given default namespace. So in the given example, you can use two different namespaces to qualify your H and F prefixes. So our root tag name is tables, and within tables XMLNS. XML namespace, first prefix is H prefix. It is qualified in w3.org namespace, and XMLNS F, it is qualified in w3 schools/furniture. You can write your own custom. Anyone having custom URIs or URNs, you can use that too. So thereafter, you have to prefix the things corresponding, the elements correspondingly. So H colon table, H colon tr, etc. Finally, the second part has F colon table, F colon name, etc. So all these will be H. All these H prefix elements will be qualified in this namespace. All the F colon elements will be qualified in this W3 schools namespace. So in the root tag, you have to specify all the qualifying namespaces, or it can be done within this table tags as shown here. So tables, so H table XMLNS attribute, F table XMLNS F prefix attribute. So this can be written like this way, in this way also. So this means all the namespace child elements with the same prefix are associated with the same given namespace. So we have to ensure that the namespaces are unique. So provide unique URIs. The URIs has to be unique. The namespace URI is not parsed by the XML parsers. It is just meant to give a unique name for the namespace. The XMLNS attribute, it is generally declared usually at the root of the document, can declare more than one spaces also. We already have seen that Volvo cars, XMLNS GN and Volvo. If we does not give this, if we can skip the prefix, we can skip the prefix too. If we don't give it, it is the default namespace. So if any of the elements within this, so here in this example, I have a default namespace as well as a namespace prefixed with Volvo. So all the tags with Volvo prefix will belong to this volvocars.com. All the elements without any prefix will be qualified in the GM namespace here. This namespace is the default. So if any tag is not prefixed here, that belongs to, that is qualified within this namespace. Conclusion, attribute names are not included in generally in namespaces. They are local to elements. Attributes are local to elements. They are not included in namespaces. Then if an XML document uses a DTD and a prefix name, the DTD must define an element with exactly the same prefix and name. I already told that instead of URI, you can give URNs as namespaces. If you are using URN, you have to use URN colon. So books is a tag. XML namespace is URN colon datel colon text info. This in this space, this URN it is qualified. So URN colon must be a prefix to this value.